Kendall Grove come to get revenge. It's Grove that's picking him off at range, picking him off at distance. Goes for the shoot, Materla.
Oh!
There's the left hand of Materla!
And the body doesn't remember, or the body doesn't, you know, attack the way it used to back in the day. And at age 40, I mean, that's a big difference right there in age, right? So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. If you see anything as we closely see to the first fight, we're in for a treat regardless.
Numbers up on the screen, you've just seen them. What they mean, nobody knows. This is a real score to be settled by these two. They're both incredible warriors, both in peak condition. But how much wear and tear have they worn in the intervening 10 years? Mr. Thomas Bronda, our referee. This is 3 rounds, 5 minutes under KSW MMA rules. Catch weight, 88.5 kilos. That's the weight division. Will Materla emphatically win the second time, putting all of the doubters out of this equation? Or will Kendall Grove come to get revenge? Already heavy hands from Materla against the striker. Materla looking very solid against Grove here. Grove is a great striker in the upright, long hands, great reach with the legs. Has he brought his A game here, or has the timing been too long between the two of these to put them at peak position?
Big question for me is the speed of the strikes. Can Kendall get on the outside, do the dance, play the runner, and negate the pressure and damage of Materla on the inside?
Well, already we're seeing Materla land that left hand and follow through with the right. You know, conditioning is going to play a lot here. Materla came off the back of, you know, some ups and downs in the last 4 outings, but he's always managed to pull through. The crowd on their feet here, wishing Stetchen and the Berserker's most favorite son on. But Grove, dangerous striker, tough opposition. This is going to be a real outing for these two.
Yeah, it's Kendall Grove's jab that's kind of leading the way right now. We already see Materla kind of bruised up already all over his face. That jab was, you know, in the first fight was very similar to the jab now, so he still got that pop, he still got that power. Nice to see from Kendall Grove.
I like the right low kick from Grove as well, and the check.
Yeah, that check was brutal.
Hands of Grove, very precise. Great boxer. He clipped Materla there. Materla had a little look over the gloves. Liver punch there. Grove on target now. But that means nothing to Materla. He'll walk through all of this, but you can only go to the well. Gets caught with the kidney kick. He's looking much sharper than he did at the beginning of this, Kendall Grove. And then Materla needs to have a care.
I'm impressed so far. That was one of the big questions. It's like, what kind of striking shape would Grove be in for this?
Materla closing the ring down, stalking Grove. Grove looking sharp, trying to pick his man off, as they did in the first encounter. And he is a very sharp boxer indeed. These are great hand skills that Grove has got.
Materla's finding some difficulty on getting inside right now.
Yeah, and Materla is literally the machine that can find needles in haystacks, but he's got to get on the inside and cause damage. And at the moment, it's Grove that's picking him off at range, picking him off at distance. Goes for the shoot, Materla, doesn't quite pull it off. And he looked very sluggish to me at the beginning of this, Kendall Grove, but he's picked up the pace, kind of got into the groove of things, because there was a worry that he was a bit ring rusty.
I agree. Nice uppercut.
That ring rust went away quite quickly in that first minute, pretty fast.
So our main event here tonight, the Kendall Grove Michal Materla matchup, the rematch up after 10 years. The top of our card, fight of the night. Pace has evened out between these two. They're both having a little look-see. Materla looks very solid, actually, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's up in weight. I mean, it's a catch-weight fight. Nice dig, very nice.
Has that extra weight slowed him down, because he doesn't look as sharp as he could be, and gets caught there coming in on the inside. Got to find a way of getting into the pocket. Got to try and burgle Grove here in this.
One of the biggest differences in that last fight was his top control, particularly in that final round. Materla is very solid, especially in half guard.
Well, the fourth of our Berserkers players here tonight. Great performances so far from all fighters, but tonight, the person that Stettin wants to see put a performance together is Michal Materla. And at the moment, he's on the wrong end of a busy left hand and a business right hand of Kendall Grove.
Grove is really hitting those straight punches, and Materla is starting to desperately look for that takedown.
Oh, Materla's starting to take heat now, and we're just over half a minute left in this first round. Desperate to try and slow things down by taking it to the ground. Needs to cover up and take care here, Materla.
Materla's got to stop chasing, too. He's running into that jab often. I like the body work. It's good. Grove covers high, and he digs the body. I do like that. But he doesn't want to get dragged into a brawl, I think, where Grove still has the reach on him.
You know, I'm looking at this through squinted eyes, and the difference in 10 years ago and now is that actually Grove hasn't changed that much. You squint and you look, and it looks like that tape. There's the end of the first, and I'm glad that that passage of time as we go to round two. Thomas Bronder, our referee, calling both fighters in.
To get around that reach is not easy for Materla, who's, you know, 10 pounds heavier, 10 kilograms heavier. I mean, it's not easy to, you know, he's a little slower, or he at least looks a little bit slower with that 10 kg difference.
I agree.
Well, let's see if that 10 kg can bring the power to the right spot to make something dramatic happen. But Grove looking good, and Materla has to get in and do some damage. That's going to be tough, though, against a guy that's, you know, well-traveled. Had a stint bare-knuckle boxing, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah, and that's one of the things. I saw some of those recent fights, and I felt like Materla's hand speed would be significantly faster. But right now in this fight, this Grove was often beating him to the punch, especially as they throw kind of simultaneously. Wow.
Caught him there. The right hand of Grove comes in over the top, and he lands. He's got very good boxing, Grove. He fights like, you know, a kid that has been boxing since the age of 8. They are very, very good boxing skills. And then Materla now brings the power. Can he finishes this? Tries to land with the knee. It's gone to the ground. There was a semi-slip and a stumble, but the power, the extra weight, and this is Materla now on the ground and pound, trying to bring the heat here. Finds himself in that cross position, the cross guard. Can he do what he does best, and that's the crucifix? Couldn't pull it off.
Nice regard there from Grove. Grove turtled. You thought for a moment he was on the verge of giving up, but it was a nice recovery. Gets those legs together. Let's see what he can do. It's one of those things that I believe Grove will have retained throughout his career, despite the inactivity in MMA, is his jiu-jitsu skills. The guy's still teaching. The guy's still involved. He's got a gym in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's true, but there's nothing beats being in the ring. And, you know, Materla's been there and he's lived it. That extra weight that we thought slowed him down has given him the power. I mean, that cuff sent Groves onto his back, really. I mean, it really was an opener. Now, over 2.5 minutes left in this second round. Can Materla summon up the gas to finish this? He's going to need to.
He's also got a world-class grappling game of his own, and that's one of the things I wanted to see is how would it match up against Grove?
Well, he has to be careful here because Grove caught him with an up kick in the first of these encounters, so Materla needs to have a care. Grove in that open guard position on his back. If Materla can land properly and finish with some power shots, he's got the weight to do it. Catching his breath now, and you can see that fitness is a factor.
If I'm Materla, I'm looking for grips here. I'm not diving in with an overhand right and risking the up kick like last time.
Well, you don't have to look far to see what the crowd feel about it. And Materla in the upright now. Maybe an opportunity missed. We'll have to see how this plays out. But he's standing and trading with Grove. And Grove, I have to say, is beating him to the punch.
Yeah, Materla's tired right now. He's breathing super heavy.
That's never good. He needs something significant. With 1.5 minutes left in this second, you start to look at surviving the round.
It's almost like we got a little replay of the first fight, don't we? very similar. Mine's the blood, I guess, but it's the only thing that's missing. It's a really, really exciting fight.
I think the blood could be coming in tall order because Grove is very accurate, super fast, and he's picking off Materla at range. And, you know, Materla doesn't have that ability like Romanowski to get in on the inside, stay there, and cause damage.
Yeah, that jab that Grove's had, he's had it forever, and it's there. It's always there. It's always been there. It's always going to be there.
Oh!
There's the left hand of Materla, and he lands it. That's the extra power. And again, the left hand of Materla is a knockdown! Materla for the ground and pound. Can he finish it? Thomas Bromda looking on. Groves is surviving. Can Materla finish this with the ground and pound? In like a piston goes Materla. And that's it. Elvis has left the building. Michal Materla finishes. What an outstanding finish by Michal Materla. You talk about blood and guts, you talk about a warrior, you talk about a man that will not back down. That's a performance from Michal Materla right there. And you know something? I hope Michal Materla looks at this and says, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I love you all, but that's me done. And you know what I'm talking about.
100%. I hope so too. I think if this should be his swan song, this is the way you want to go out as a true legend of the sport, as a true person who's built this sport up in this country. He deserves it, and I hope it is his swan song and he says goodbye to it the right way.
Well, that's what he was looking for, the first left hand. And look at Groves. Groves all over the place.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by TKO, Michal Materla.